Alright, what's going on, guys? We are doing a best of three sort of round robin thingy to help decide what's going to be happening in Group A of the All Invitational 6. Let's go ahead and get started. These players have been very patient waiting, so we'll start the game now. And while it's loading up, we will go ahead and talk about what we're doing. So, these three players have all tied for second place in Group A. So what we're doing is a round robin, so each player plays each other once to figure out who's going to move on into the playoff round. And this is going to be Nexlux versus Mr. Lando on Catalina. And by the way, I was really rude and forgot to say that my buddy Stark is with me as always to help cast these games.
So the deal here is we're continuing with the best of one format for consistency stage. Round robin, three-man group. Only two possible situations that everyone ties, in which case we restart, which is or someone gets 2 wins, someone is 1-1, and someone is 0-2. In that case, we have a second place player who goes from first place in this group, and we have a third place player which goes from the second place in this group. Third place in the group is sadly out, which is a shame because all three of these players are very good and very entertaining.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Group A wasn't really the group we expected to see this type of closeness in. But then when you take a step back and actually see who's in here, I'm actually not all that surprised. That being said, let's go ahead and introduce the players. I'll start with the Zerg player in the top portion of Catalina. It's going to be Nexlux.
Coin flip correct, sending his overlord to the left side of Catalina, where we have spawning in current player for All-In and Academy, Mr. Lando.
So we got a ZVT here, which is just probably the best matchup in the whole game. I think it's pretty objective to say that. Speaking of Terrans, our third player is going to be Canary, who is pretty much expected to be a force in Group A, so we'll get to see a couple of his games later on, in case you guys were wondering who the third player was. But yeah, we're going to move along into this game. Lando getting that gas down pretty early. Most likely going to be getting a Reaper on Catalina. Reapers are really good, so expect to see that. Meanwhile, gasless so far out of Nexlux.
Yeah, this is non-standard, shall we say, but for Nexlux, he's the type of player who likes to play non-standard. He's been, I don't know, influenced by Tang, shall we say. He's going for the gasless pool first, no fast gas, he's going straight for the hatchery. He does have the option of taking gas after this hatchery starts, but oh, here we go, there's the gas. So we are going to be seeing some kind of, very least, fast speedling play from Nexlux.
I do like that decision from him too, because Lando has shown that he does definitely like to get those Reapers out. I've seen him multiple times go for more than 2. Doesn't mean he's always going to do that, but I like Nexlux getting that early pool to be able to defend against any sort of crazy Reaper play that, you know, is possible at a Lando here.
Yeah, you've got to remember this is also a best of one, so Nexlux doesn't want to die to any crazy stuff, so he's getting the pool first, hoping to alleviate any 11-11s that might happen, and Lando's going for the Reaper to also scout for any craziness that's both players showing a lot of respect for their opponent here, arguably, and both players are going to be ending up on 2 bases, with Lando taking his natural CC. But a very fast Roach Warren on 21 supply, instantly scouted by Lando. Do you reckon this is going to be cancelled?
It's a possibility. That's definitely a shame for Nexlux here. Lando getting that amazing scout off just on time. Nexlux is pretty well known for that really fast Roach Warren, so Lando just kind of confirming that. I wonder if this is something similar to what happened in their earlier game in the group stage, and that there goes the cancel right there.
So I guess from here, Nexlux, yeah, he does grab the Zergling speed. He's staying in gas as well, which is an interesting. So what he's going to be or in the future. He is also going up to what would be 3 queens. Going to be useful for fending off these Reapers. Meanwhile, we have from Lando, he's going in panic mode. He hasn't seen anything that Roaches are not coming. He hasn't seen the Council Roach Warren. He's going to go in now and confirm, hey, wait a minute, Roach Warren gone. So I imagine this bunker in his cancelled soon, if not salvaged whenever. And Lando's just exploiting the lack of lings here. They've been so many drones so far going down there.
Yeah, he's picked off 2 so far. Finally, the queens are going to be able to jump up here and help out with defense. That spine at the natural is good so that Nexlux can focus his queens up here in the main. But yeah, Nexlux I think is a little bit behind now, especially in tech, because he's only got that spawning pool and he hasn't dropped anything else down yet. So I'm kind of expecting a Baneling nest to go down with all the gas he's saving up, but I suppose he can still really do just about anything. Maybe go into a really fast lair.
Yeah, it could be fast lair. He could be throwing down evolution chambers up here soon, but he is also getting supply blocks at 36. I guess the stress of his build order being scouted and the Reap causing absolute havoc is maybe getting to him. Meanwhile, on Lando's side of things, we have a 1-1-1 setup from Lando with no add-ons. The fast starport going to be giving a Viking to maybe deny vision, kill some overlords. It could just be used as overlord killing. It could also be clearing a path for a medevac to get to Nexlux's base pretty fast. And Lando does scout the third of Nexlux going down as well, so things are stabilizing.
Yeah, lucky for Nexlux that drone actually made it there alive, because those Reapers almost caught it out. He does drop that hatch though, and he should be able to get that up without too much problem. Still waiting to see what he's going to do. Okay, there's the lair started now. He's going to get a couple extra gases as well, I think. And we do have a Roach Warren going down once again. So Nexlux is going to be going into that Roach play, which I do kind of like given what Lando has done so far here. So we'll see how that progresses throughout the game.
Lando, he's cut out Hellions entirely from his build, which is something you might consider non-standard in TV, given the fact he saw very fast Roach Warren, and he knows what Nexlux is like as a Zerg player. He's opted for some very early pressure here with these Marines, these few mines, and he's probably going to get a cancel on his third base. There's no Roaches out yet at all.
No, only 4 just in production now. That Queen's probably going to die too, definitely. And there's not a lot of defense for this third at all. I wonder if Nexlux will actually just cancel it.
Has to. If this goes up, it's just going to die. There's nothing here. It does complete. He is going to wait for these Roaches to come out. There are 10 Roaches coming out, so best case scenario right now for Nexlux is all of these units, Lando, are going to be dying here, but the medevac is here to come pick them up. It looks like the mines at the very least are going to be thrown into the natural.
Things not looking too good for Nexlux here, although he is ahead in supply, but that's just something that Roaches do. He'll be able to defend this push if it happens, but
no Spore Crawlers.
There are no Spore Crawlers and no Overseers even started yet.
Nice micro there by Lando, picking up the mines before they go off on individual drones. He's just keeping the pressure up, forcing these Roaches to stay at home for the time being. They are going to move out now, killing off these units here, just barely saving the Viking there. But meanwhile, Lando's already got his first tank out. His second tank has just finished as well. I think that any pressure that Nexlux... Nexlux is showing his dominance, I suppose, in Lando's natural. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, just creeping up the natural here. That's going to do nothing but get that Overlord killed nice and quickly.
It does stop bunkers being built there. So if Lando did want to build extra bunkers there, then that's now no longer the case. But with 2 tanks already out, I don't think he was planning to any... Nice move there by Nexlux, actually.
Well, that bunker is pretty empty. We're going to find out what happens right here. The SCV is being pulled off the line. That 1 tank is going to go down, and I like how Nexlux is moving out of range of that tank there. This could get quite a bit of damage done.
It's going to get quite a bit of damage done. The natural's been lifted, the depots are going to have to be raised. There are a few Marines on the low ground that are just forfeit at this stage. And even though Lando saw this coming, I think he was maybe a little bit too greedy going for the third CC there, the double upgrades for his 5 Marines or so. And Nexlux is actually transitioning out of the Roach tech already. He got the range upgrade for the Roaches, but he's going straight into the Spire, so he's looking to transition in probably meterless at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, that could be a solid play there for sure. The one thing is his third base isn't up yet. He's not mining gas off of 3 bases yet, so it's going to be a little bit tough to really fully supplement a huge number of mutas, but having Lando on his back foot here playing super defensively on just 1 base is definitely a plus. So he'll have time to get that third up and get some gases going for sure.
Look at this, 36 SCVs on 1 base with mules. Lando isn't even dropping mules on this base at the moment. knows that if he does, it's going to be mined out in like 2. Has to clean out the natural, re-land it there, and he does take a supply lead now that those roaches are dead.
Yeah, roaches are pretty good for, you know, boosting up your supply and making things look a little bit more one-sided than they necessarily are. And the thing here is I'm having trouble spotting any sort of army for Nexus right now. I don't think there's any, unless, you know, not counting those lings that just popped.
Yeah, he was saving up the money there for a I guess, switch, you could say, but he hit another supply block here at 86, so he's only able to get 5 of those Mutalisks out. Ideally, he'd want to get the full 12, which his bank allows him to afford. And meanwhile, Lando's using the opportunity. He's landed the 3rd. He's got 12 SCVs mining from it already. Lando's economy is going to be booming pretty shortly from here, already affording his 2. Going to be throwing down more production soon, and at this stage Lando's feeling pretty comfortable until his mutas land in this undefended 3rd base.
Yeah, things looking a little bit tough for this 3rd base here. The mutas aren't all together, so that's going to be alright here. But here we go, the mutas are coming in, they're going to get a couple SCV kills, most likely. The army is stepping over, but all Nexus has to do is just move into the main. And he can pick off a couple tanks here, he can pick off those marines, maybe even get some add-ons. He's going to be forcing Lando to just basically stim his marines all over the place here.
Yeah, you can't even really boost after these guys in the medevac, because there's enough mutas here to kill off the medevac as it chases you for. So this is going to be really annoying for Lando. This 3rd base that he landed fairly greedily is getting punished here. There's so much stimming on these marines at this stage.
Not quite the muta number that Nexus really wants here at the moment, though. He's got 4, so, you know, he can kill a tank if that tank is undefended for quite a while, which looks like might happen here, but all those mutas are going to die if he does that.
Yeah. He got it in the medevac. That was so cool. Wow, that tank is on -1 life. 16, but it was close.
I'm seeing a little bit of strangeness by these banelings and mutas over here on the, like, towards the 3rd base of Nexus, or I guess the 4th in this case. I'm not sure why he moved them over that way, but we have a lot of spines and just static D going down in the main. So it looks like Nexus is a little bit nervous about a counterattack here, and rightly so.
Panicking, if anything. Pumping out roaches at this stage. He's saying, I need just stuff, anything that shoots. And he's choosing to fight off 3 tier, which I think is maybe a little bit of a mistake. I guess we'll see how the engagement goes. He's probably going to trade even. Actually, yeah, with these bailing hits, he's going to be trading quite nicely. But I don't think he's going to be able to push Lando back much further than this. But it does buy Nexus the time he needed to stabilize on those 3 bases.
Well, he still doesn't have gas coming out of that 3rd base yet. So the gas just isn't really there to keep making mutas, and I wonder if Nexus has noticed that or not. He's pretty much stuck on lings right now. You know, all the gas he's spending on banelings here. He can't make too much roaches or any more mutas, so you know he's finding himself a little bit strapped for cash, and still not getting guys and gas over at the 3rd. So it looks like Nexus is probably just going to defend for a while until he feels confident that his production can really keep up. But that's just giving Lando more and more time to mine off of 3 bases and get his map rolling. Oh my god, 3-3 started already. The upgrades for Nexus upgrades are definitely behind here.
Yeah, I mean, Nexus did invest in the range upgrades, so all of his units are 1-1 now, except for the mutas. But so his army is fairly decent no matter what he makes, but ideally you want to streamline your army a lot more, and that's what Nexus isn't doing right now. He's opting for the Hydralisk Den as well. Which is a play I've played against him, and he has used this composition before. Not to great success, but I guess it's see how it goes. I guess he's going to use. His plan was to use them to harass for a bit while he transitions back into Roach Hydra.
Yeah, and I mean, Roach Hydra is definitely a good composition, but when you have so many banelings and mutas and lings mixed in here, it's kind of expensive. Lando loading up a double drop here. He's probably... Oh, he might miss that 5th base by Nexus. He's sort of rallied right near it. I like this idea, though, because he's going to be able to split that army up, or at least draw the whole thing back here. So Lando just waiting to decide where he wants to go with this. And meanwhile, all the while the time is going on, +3/+3 is just about finished, and we all know how tough it is to face a bio player on 3-3, and Nexus is going to find himself in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, I think Nexlux is going to be able to clean up the main force of Lando quite easily. Nexlux's army is actually ridiculous. He actually has a little bit of a low drone count. So that means his army is ridiculously huge. But Lando is forcing Nexlux's hand here, killing the, what would be, I guess, 5th base of Nexlux, and also threatening the 4th base.
Here we go. This engagement is huge for Nexlux. He's getting a great engagement here. All the medevacs pick up, though, and there's not enough mutas to take these down. Nice play here by Lando.
Yeah, he's really exploiting the very low muta count by Nexlux, and there's a ton of spine crawlers here in the main to defend against these drops, actually. So this drop is going to be relatively easy to hold once all these banelings roll in. And because there's a low muta count, though, Lando can just sort of pick up, and now he's back in the 4th base again. And Nexlux is just getting pulled around at this stage, and Lando's landed in his 4th base. He's going to put a planetary on that soon, I would imagine. There we go, there's a planetary. And Nexlux has found himself awkwardly on 3 bases with another 2 bases on the other side of the map that are just really quite awkward to defend, but some huge baning connections there for Nexlux.
Yeah, Lando
use that again.
Lando wasn't paying attention for a split second there, so he lost his entire force over at the 3rd base, but even still, you saw the amount of banelings go down even before the connections happened. +3 is so strong on Bio. In comes some more links, some more roaches here. I don't know if this is going to be enough, though. There's so many medevacs here just healing this up. There's Widow Mines scattered everywhere. These banelings have to be really careful where they go. And Lando's going to push through this, I think.
Yeah, Lando's in his element right now, if any.
Not to mention, he's crushing the 4th base over here as well, so, you know.
Yeah. Why he's such a scary player that we all know and love. I mean, Nexlux, he masters. And Lando made this game look fairly straightforward from his point of view, I think. I mean, Nexlux pulled a few very good plays with the roach rush at the start, lifting up Lando's natural, forcing him to mine on 1 base very inefficiently. Then the mutas back as well, but eventually Lando just seemed to stabilize quite well, and Nexlux maybe didn't use the lead he got as well as he needed.
Couple baneling hits going down here, but it's definitely not going to be enough. Lando is maxed out right now, while Nexlux struggling heavily here on 60 supply. Drones are going to be going down here. He's going to try to get like a drone surround, and I think he knows what's up at this point. Bringing in the spine crawlers, bringing everything in. It was pretty well played overall by Nexlux. I like the roach push, even if it was delayed due to the early scout. Still got a ton of damage. Yeah, for sure, and it was well played. It's not like Lando had an easy time until he was able to get on 3 bases and +3 bio, you know.
Lando dancing his guys, he's happy.
It's hilarious.
He knows he's won. He's overstimming.
Oh my god, his guys
Spinning around. Where's the Manimules? You're missing the Manimules, Lando. You got a full medevac there as well, you should.
Those broodlings are going to go to town on these weak marines.
Yeah, you say that when you... They're
not.
So Lando is going to go up 1-0 in his group. That means the worst case scenario for him right now is he has to replay the group again because the whole group is 1-1.
Right, yeah, he's definitely setting himself up very nicely here. Nexlux being a little cheeky with a double expand down here in the bottom of Catalina. I'm not too sure how long he's going to let this stand for, though. When you're on 26 supply, about 25 minutes into the game, you have to wonder if you really have a chance here.
Well, I mean, it's that fantasy GG timing that everyone talks about, right? And I mean, yes, Nexlux, this game is 100% lost for him. But I say 100%, it's like 99.99, right?
Right, yeah.
If he leaves right now, the game is lost. If he waits and tries to force a comeback, maybe 0.5% of the time he actually does make a comeback. It's going to increase your win rate by playing like this, even if it can be... There's a double scan to drop. Even if it can be interpreted as a bit bad manner or whatever, I think it's fine.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe Lando doesn't scan there, and then he thinks the game's broken, and then just leaves.
Well, I mean, I don't. This is a very extreme case of. I mean, this comeback is incredibly unlikely, but maybe you find yourself down only 50 supply, and maybe against a player that you know is very good, you just leave them because 50 supply deficit is enough to quite easily win from if you have the lead. But sometimes it's best to stay in the game and try and fight it out. I mean, you only lose when you leave, really.
Yeah, that's true. Although things are looking really dire here for Nexlux, he's probably going to GG very shortly here.
Something going for Nexlux though is Canary. He wasn't really present for this game. He's busy updating his drivers or something. So his strategy is not visible. You can use it against Canary if he wants.
Right, yeah, that is definitely a plus there. So very well played here by Lando, taking that game and giving himself a 1-0 record, I suppose, in the round robin. So the next game is going to be coming up shortly. I'm not exactly sure who it's going to be between, but we'll figure that out in the meantime. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you guys are pumped because this is exactly the kind of excitement we were looking for when we got the All-In 6 or All-Invitational 6 going here. So hopefully we can go into these next games and get everything sorted out, and I'm excited to see what happens.